Our guest today on At Home with Tim Sinclair is a guy I've gotten the chance to talk about a lot, but never gotten the chance to talk with. He's a midfielder for the Chicago Fire, the pro soccer team there in the Windy City. His name is Fabian Herbers. Hey, Fabian, what's up?
Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
I'm great. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. How are you holding up through these couple of months of quarantine?
Yeah, I mean, slowly it's getting boring, but still hanging in there. We try to keep up my routine, to get stay myself distracted, and yeah, I mean, there's not much to do, so it's okay.
Well, let's talk about that routine because I think for so many of us who are forced to work from home now, we get out of our routine and we pack on the pounds and we watch a lot of TV and we don't get as much work done as maybe we should. As a professional athlete and someone who literally has to thrive on their own fitness, how and what are you doing to try to stay in that groove?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I try to work out at the same times. First of all, I mean, I try to wake up first at the same time every day, which is around 10, 11. I'm a guy who likes to sleep in, so that's kind of the nice part about the coronavirus. But to get to sleep in, yeah, I try to wake up at the same times, and then yeah, make myself breakfast. I'm still enrolled in school, doing my master's programs through Southern New Hampshire University. So after eating breakfast, I try to put in some work there, where it's like 1 or 2 hours every day. Just studying, keeping up with the work. And then usually I eat lunch around 2:30, and after I usually do whatever is required from the fire. And the weekly program, we get programs for us to work out or to run outside. Try to keep up with that. And then when I come back, I have my uh, my nighttime where I sometimes get a little bit creative with the cooking or do some other stuff,
Yeah,
which I enjoy doing.
so much there to talk about. Let's go back to the being in school thing. Typically, uh, when you become a professional athlete, you set school aside and you wait till you're done, and then you jump back in. Especially for people who've maybe left early to turn pro. One, what are you studying? And two, what made you think, hey, I can play soccer at a professional level and do school at the same time?
I'm studying applied economics right now through Southern New Hampshire University. Um, yeah, it's just a field that I'm interested in. I'm always like guy who likes logic, who likes decision making and finances. So yeah, just trying to learn and educate myself that way. And the way I came to it is as a professional soccer player. I mean, yeah, sometimes you have a busy schedule with traveling on all that stuff, but there's times where you go to training in the morning, you put in your work, and then you're at home for like at 1 or 2 p.m. And then you have a whole rest of the day to fill, and I'm just a guy who's not just watching Netflix all day or like play FIFA all day. So I like to stay productive, and it gives me a sense of meaning a little bit, to stay productive and to educate myself and keep your mind busy.
What's in Fabian Herber's fridge? Like when you order food or go to the grocery store and bring it home, what do you have to have on hand?
I mainly have right now. I have breakfast food like eggs, ham, cheese, bread, milk, orange juice, that kind of stuff. Because from the Chicago Fire, we get provided with lunch and dinner meals from Eat Clean Chicago. That provide like prep meals, which are very very healthy and tasty. So I don't have to worry about that too much. But so mainly right now, I'm mainly like breakfast kind of foods
That's
in
nice
there.
that you got someone sort of helping prep meals and bring them right to you. Do you have like a jar of M&Ms in the corner or Oreos stuffed in the cabinet? Like, do you have a guilty pleasure that you partake in sometimes?
I mean, I certainly do. I love my chocolate. Especially after eating dinner. You always gotta have something sweet. But I actually try to avoid buying those kind of things because when I don't buy it, I don't have it home. I don't need to eat it. but sometimes I just can't help it and buy.
Well,
But I try
you're
not
from
to keep it
Germany,
home.
so you kind of have to have chocolate, right?
Yeah, but the good chocolate is very hard to find here. You know,
Right.
there's this there's a couple brands that I like in Germany, but they don't really have it accessible here. And yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of the American chocolates, but some of them are okay, like M&Ms or something. Yeah,
Right. I'm sure it's not the same, but you got to do what you got to do. Do you
exactly.
have like a soccer ball in the house that you practice dribbling or playing? Like, what can you do in your place, or do you have to get outside in order to train?
Um, yeah, I mean, I do workouts like body weight stuff. I try to avoid playing with the ball because I have some things that could break here in the room. No, but when I sometimes I do take the ball outside and just dribble with myself or just keep the ball in the air, you know, just not to lose your touch. Inside, I have a bike, you know, a stationary bike where I can do some work on, or I have a couple of weights where I do some squats, some lunges, you know, just to not lose all the muscles that you've built up through the preseason and in the past.
Have you broken anything there in the house playing with a soccer ball, or maybe was that reserved to when you were a kid at with your mom and dad?
Yeah, they would never allow me to play inside, so I kind of kept that habit and try to avoid it here as well.
You mentioned FIFA, which I was going to ask about. My boys love playing it, and Netflix. So let's start with the Netflix first. When you do have time to watch it, you're not studying or training. Is there a show you've binged or that you're trying to catch up on or that you're really into right now?
I mean, there's many short series that I've finished watching. I don't have a list right now, but right now I'm watching Casa de Papel. It's like a Spanish series. It's called Money Heist in English, and it's about some Spanish robbers robbing the Spanish central bank and trying to get out without like killing any victims or
It's like
like
House of
hostages.
Paper
Yeah,
translated, right?
exactly. Yeah, it's like the money. They're trying to print money and get out of the house. I think
So,
many people have seen it.
so you're a German living in America, watching Spanish shows.
Right, right. No, I actually do keep up on my Spanish as well. I speak intermediate Spanish, I would say, because I don't know. I like the language, I like the culture, and we have a lot of Hispanic teammates as well that I like to talk to and help as well. So yeah, my Spanish is okay, and then that kind of shows help me even practicing it.
Is that
And
three languages or do you speak more? Because I know a lot of guys I've met around the league, really, it's amazing that they're more than bilingual for sure.
yeah, that's the third, and I speak Dutch as well, so I can talk with Johan. It's it's similar to it's like Spanish and Portuguese, I would say. So I speak Dutch, so I can talk to Kappelhoff as well.
It probably comes in handy on the field, I would imagine, to know a few words here and there, if nothing else. When you're playing fake soccer, who do you play as? Do you play as yourself? Do you go to Premier League? How does that work?
No, I don't play with myself too much, to be honest. Because I don't know the Chicago Fire in the spectrum of the world. You know, the Premier League teams and the German Bundesliga teams are not quite on the level yet, and they cannot do all the tricks and all the fancy moves that those players can. So I often play with Dortmund because that's my home team. That's my that's I was a fan growing up in Germany, supporting Dortmund and also Barcelona sometimes because they're just unbeatable. They have the best players, I think, in FIFA.
Are you pretty good? Do you think that like it? Is there anybody on the team who can beat you? We'll put it that way.
Yes. I don't want to lie. I think Alvaro Medran is pretty good. He's very good at it. Gaston Jimenez, I think he beat me too a couple of times. Robert Beric, but I think I'm on the upper quartile here.
When it comes to getting back on the field, obviously nobody quite knows how that's going to work or when it's going to happen or what the season's going to look like. Um, what's your hope? Is your hope that you get a full season in and the games just more condensed? Would you rather thin things out and sort of keep the schedule you're used to? How are you and the guys thinking about what that might look like, or what you'd like it to look like as we move forward?
It's very hard to say. I mean, I think me and everybody just wants to get on the field as soon as they can, and pursue their job and do what they love. Um, I mean, they announced that 2020 probably will be without fans, which is a bummer, because they do push us forward, and a game without fans is really does feel like a training game or something, because you hear everybody talking, you hear having an empty stadium and hearing all the commands from the coaches and everything, so it feels like a training game. But at the end of the day, my wish is just to get back as soon as we can, just play, maybe without fans first, and then slowly, when the virus is calming down a little bit, add a couple fans here and there, where you have maybe even social distancing in a stadium, where you have in a stadium of 80,000, maybe you can put 20,000 in there, and have them sit separated or something like that. But yeah, my wish is just to get back playing as soon as possible, to sum
How
that up.
long for you do you think it would take to get game ready? I'm sure obviously you're doing everything you can to stay in shape and be healthy and fit, but it's never the same as game shape. So what kind of, if someone said, hey, go, how long would it take for you to be ready?
I mean, I feel like even in the season, when you have a 6 week of preseason, I feel like it always takes like 1 or 2 games to get the full 90-minute game fitness in. So if they told me next weekend we play, I think it will take me like 2 weeks to be completely ready. But it doesn't mean that I couldn't play in that next game. But would I be 100% fit or like ready or be at my best? Probably not. No.
Yeah. Well, hey, we look forward to seeing you on the field, announcing your name a lot in 2020 and the years beyond. And Fabian Herbers, man, appreciate it. Best of luck, staying fit and sane, and we'll see you at Soldier Field, I hope sometime very soon.
Hopefully. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.